You've been told a lie. We all have. It's this idea that if you just work harder, get that promotion, and earn more money, all your financial problems will just magically disappear. Well, that's a scam. And today we're going to pull back the curtain on why your salary is actually a trap, and we'll reveal the one number that truly matters if you want to build real wealth. I mean, listen to this. This isn't some made-up story. It perfectly captures a massive, massive problem. You get the big job, you buy the fancy car, and suddenly you can't even afford a simple repair? How on earth is that possible? Well, you'd be shocked at how common this really is. Look at this number, 52%. That's the percentage of Americans making over $100,000 a year who are living paycheck to paycheck. Just let that sink in for a second. We're talking about high-income earners who are just as stressed about money as anyone else. The only difference is they have nicer stuff to worry about losing. And that brings us to the heart of the issue, what I call the high-income illusion. It's this belief that a big salary automatically means you're wealthy. But the truth is, it often just means you can go broke faster, but with way more style. And this is really the core idea of this whole explainer. The advice to just earn more is, frankly, a total scam if you don't get the underlying framework right. Without understanding the basic mechanics, more money just means more problems. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire.
So why does this keep happening? Well, it's because most of us are stuck on a kind of financial treadmill. We're running harder and harder, but we're not actually getting anywhere. Let's break down exactly how this works. It really boils down to this one powerful concept, Parkinson's law. You should think of it as financial gravity. It's this invisible force that says no matter how high your income flies, your expenses will almost always rise up to pull it right back down to earth, unless you actively fight against it. And that's exactly what it feels like, right? You get a raise, and for a hot second, you feel like you're finally getting ahead. But then the treadmill just speeds up. You get a nicer apartment, a new car, more subscriptions. This is lifestyle inflation, and it is the silent killer of wealth building.
This treadmill leads us directly to the next trap, the enormous pressure to wear the fake rich uniform. You know what I'm talking about. We live in a world where looking wealthy has somehow become more important than actually being wealthy. And that uniform, it comes with a very, very steep price tag. Just look at this number. $740 a month. That is the average new car payment in America right now. People are locking themselves into these 7-year loans for an asset that literally starts losing value the second they drive it off the lot. It is a massive wealth destroyer. This quote just nails it. For so many people, it's not about what the car can do. It's about the image it projects. They're buying an expensive costume to play the part of someone they think they're supposed to be, a life they can't actually afford. And here's the really brutal math. If you took that same $700+ a month and invested it, over 30 years, it could grow to over $1 million. So that luxury car isn't just costing you a monthly payment, it's costing you your actual retirement. It's costing you your freedom. The trap doesn't stop with cars. It extends to housing too. We've all heard that renting is just throwing money away, but let's reframe that. Your rent is the maximum you're going to pay for housing each month. A mortgage, on the other hand, is just the minimum. After that, you've got property taxes, insurance, repairs, a new roof. The list goes on and on. And this is what you end up with. When your huge car payment and your house payments are eating up almost all of your high income, you haven't built a fortress. You've built a house of cards. You have zero margin for error. One layoff, one unexpected medical bill, and that whole beautiful illusion of wealth comes crashing down. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time on the problem, but now let's talk about the solution. If your income isn't the key to building wealth, then what is? It's time to reveal the one number that changes the entire game. This is the question that unlocks the whole puzzle, because the secret isn't about how much you make. It's about something way simpler and honestly a whole lot more powerful. This is it, the gap. This is the only number that really truly matters. Think of it as your personal profit margin. It's the money that's left over at the end of the month after all the bills are paid. The gap is the raw material that you use to build your financial freedom. This simple table says everything. You've got person A making a pretty modest income, but they have a gap of $10,000. They're building wealth. Then you have person B with a huge income, but their expenses match it perfectly. Their gap is zero. They are completely stagnant. So who would you rather be? It's obvious, right? Okay, so the goal is simple. Widen the gap. But how do you actually do that?
Well, I'm going to give you a simple 3-step plan to get off that treadmill for good. It all boils down to these 3 things. First, you've got to know where your money is actually going. You can't manage what you don't measure. Second, you have to automate your wealth building. Take willpower completely out of the equation. And third, and this might be the most important, you have to be willing to be a little bit weird. And this is exactly why that last step is so critical. Because let's be honest, normal in our society is being broke. Normal is being drowning in credit card debt. If you want to achieve something different, like actual wealth, then you absolutely cannot act like a normal person. You know, when you really get down to it, all of this, it's about a fundamental choice. It's not just about spreadsheets and budgets. It's about what you truly value in your life.
I love thinking about it this way. Every single dollar you manage to put into the Gap isn't just a dollar. It's like a tiny employee that works for you, around the clock, 7 days a week, making more money for you. And when you have enough of those little employees working for you, you don't have to trade your time for a paycheck anymore. That is what money actually buys. It buys freedom.
And this might be the final secret to all of this. Real wealth isn't the flashy car or the big house. That's just a receipt for spending. True wealth is invisible. It's the assets you own that nobody ever sees. It's the security, the options, and the peace of mind that comes from the money you didn't spend.
So, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one question. Because for most of us, we can't have both. You have to decide what's more important to you, the temporary thrill of looking rich or the permanent, life-changing power of actually being free. The choice is yours.